As hospital workers in KENEMA, Sierra Leone dealt with last year's Ebola crisis, some of them noticed the chlorine they were using to disinfect didn't smell quite right.
That particular chlorine was already expired for 1 year.
KENEMA Hospital should have been at the forefront of stopping the outbreak. It was the first place Ebola was identified in the country, but instead the hospital became an incubator.
We were in a war zone, and the chlorine was the only thing that was giving us courage to come closer to patients.
The expired chlorine was indicative of the failures of the World Health Organization and Sierra Leone's government. Yet there were other issues. Shortages forced hospital staff to use ill-fitting gloves and plastic packaging in an attempt to protect themselves from one of the world's deadliest viruses. Virologist Joseph Fair said the horrible scene at KENEMA Hospital will stick with him for years.
When we had an extreme shortage of, say, body bags or personal protective equipment, we had a number of bodies lying outside in the rain with no body bags.
In a message obtained by the Associated Press, WHO Director Margaret Chan stressed the importance of KENEMA. Transportation, PPE, personal protective equipment, and other equipment must be provided, she wrote. But that didn't quite happen.
Well, there's no question in my mind that the slowness of the response, the delay in the response, the disorganization of the response on the part of the World Health Organization had some very dire consequences in terms of lots of lives lost. That shouldn't have been.
2 months ago, a WHO commissioned panel criticized the organization's response to the epidemic, but didn't name anyone responsible for the failures. To date, no one has lost their job. WHO Assistant Director General Bruce AYLWARD concedes mistakes were made, but insists those mistakes weren't responsible for the epidemic's growth.
The real drivers of this epidemic are not a bad WHO representative or a lousy treatment center run by MSF or somebody else, or a problem of UNICEF. The real drivers are the population behaviors, and that is what has held back the ability to save more lives here.
The outbreak has yet to be completely neutralized, and many who risk their lives to help are now stigmatized by their exposure to Ebola. But they are the lucky ones. A memorial now stands in front of KENEMA Hospital, a tribute, but also a reminder of what went wrong. Etched in stone are the names of the more than 40 staffers who lost their lives in the outbreak. David Martin, The Associated Press.